You are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'.
What is going down? What is going down? It is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. Welcome to the show, guys. If you're new to the podcast, welcome to the show. If you're into anime, nerd culture, most importantly, video games, then you come to the right place because we talk about all of that here. Today's episode, guys, it's podcast number 298. I got a few things I want to get off my chest, man. I got a few things I want to talk about. This is a different kind of show when I'm talking about time because this is a Friday and I never record on a Friday, but I have a lot of stuff coming up in the next few days. So I'm going to go ahead and knock this one out. So I really regret to say I'm not going to be able to talk anything about the next episode of The Last of Us because I really wanted to watch it and talk about it with you guys this week, but that'll be next week. And next week I'll be talking about 2 episodes instead of 1. So that's cool. Vinland Saga, got a chance to watch that. But all my Saturday stuff, like my animes, my Nier Automata anime, all that, I won't be able to watch it until tomorrow because I'm recording on a Friday. So I'm just apologizing in advance on that. But I still do have a lot to talk about. If you hear any noise in the background, I'm going to try to edit it best that I can. There's a lot of stuff going on for whatever reason, and it's pretty early as I'm recording this as well. So just bear with me, guys. And also, please forgive my voice right now. I'm on the cusp of getting over this fucking cold, but it's going to be another few days probably. I do feel a lot better from, what I did. And I'm going to get into this podcast with you guys now. I'm going to be talking about a few things. One in particular, I'm going to be talking about Microsoft. We got some shaky Microsoft news, okay? It's bad news, and depending on who you are, what kind of person you are, it may be a little worse than not. So I'm going to talk about that. Also, Monster Hunter Rise, going to talk about that as well. Also, something I can't believe I'm going to say this, but there is some shadiness going on when it comes to Forspoken, the game. I'm going to talk about that. I remember telling you guys I was going to pre-order that. I was going to buy this day one, but I think I'm going to put that on the back burner. And I'm going to get into all that as well. Also, of course, I have to talk and give you guys an update about the Retroid, Pocket 3 Plus. Yes, I've been playing with it all fucking week. And I have a funny story about that device as well. I'm going to get into all of that and more. And also, I cannot forget my anime watch list. I've added the oldie but goodie in the mix, guys. And like I said before, and many times, there's no rhyme or reason to how I consume my anime. There's no rhyme or reason how I consume my games. I'm kind of like off the cuff. I don't try to make myself set for, I try not to schedule gaming. You know what I mean? To me, it's just like, go with the flow. If you feel like playing this game for this long, do that. And if you decide to get off it and go to something else, do that. Whatever makes you feel good, whatever your mind is telling you, you want to play, you want to experience, then, you do that. Don't worry about all that. But there's some gamers, I know, because I've heard from a few of you that are more strategic in the way that they play their games. And that's fine too. Some gamers just want to pick one game and they say, I'm not playing anything else until I finish this game. Now me, like I said before, guys, it's just up in the air. I may tell myself, oh yeah, I might play this for a little while and then just stop. And then I end up being the whole game. And then there's also differences in games because not all games are story driven games. Some games are like fighting games. That's something completely different. You can pick up and play that anytime. And there's one in particular that I'm experiencing right now. And I cannot wait to talk about this one. It's definitely one of my all-time favorites. And I have to be honest, it's my favorite Nintendo 64 game. And I'm going to talk about that and why that is, especially now, because it wasn't my favorite. It was my second favorite up until really like a couple nights ago. And now it's my number one favorite. And I'm going to break all that down. Trust me. Let's get into the show. Let's start off with the Microsoft news. I'm sure a lot of you guys out here have been listening, or maybe you saw something that fell into your algorithm and you saw that Microsoft has let go of 10,000 employees, and its trickle down effect has been pretty bad for certain people, depending on where they are working. And I'm talking about two in particular, 343 Studios, and also the devs from Bethesda who are working on that game that everybody's been talking about, Starfield. Yeah, I went ahead and named it. But anyway, yeah, man, there's a lot of shit going on underneath the Microsoft umbrella. And to be honest with you guys, I don't understand it, because if you look at the numbers, now they fired or laid off, however you want to put it, 10,000 employees, right? The funny thing here to me is over the last 2 years, Microsoft they've hired a shit ton of people. Okay. And I think the number is around 57,000 employees in the last 2 years that they hired. So they turn around and fire 10,000 to cut corners and cut costs or whatnot. And I don't understand that, because last year, guys, Microsoft made over $200 billion. Okay. They made over $200 billion last year, and they ended up paying $69 billion for Activision Blizzard. And they still were sitting on $130 billion. Okay. So, and this is 1 year. So money is not the problem. That's why I'm really having a hard time trying to figure out why they laid all these workers off when they didn't even have to. That's like just under 5% of their workforce. Okay. Now they could have easily found other things to cut, and kept these employees. One in particular, they could have, slid back a little bit on the bonuses. Let's keep it real with each other, guys. It's all about the money. It's all about the big wigs, the suit and ties up top, making all the calls. They got their office door closed. They got their sake glasses filled to the brim. Okay. They're smoking in those sticks. They're fucking snorting cocaine off of the fucking tables in the room. The endo smoke in the rooms are thick, so thick you can't even see the next guy standing next to you. They're doing all of that, and they're definitely pulling out warm butter, because if you speak to any of these 10,000 people who are laid off, they'll easily tell you that Microsoft has their own brand of fucking butter. Okay, I don't know if it's Country Crock. I can't believe it's not butter, but they're definitely using some sort of butter on a lot of people. Okay, and like I said, I don't think that they needed to fire these people, but for whatever reason, these bonuses meant that much to them, so they decided to take that and roll with it. I think that's all it's about, man. They're trying to they rather line their pockets than keep families safe and sound in this recession that we're having. And that's just me. There's even been devs who have come out on social media and talked about this, and they're pretty pissed, and understandably so. And they're talking about how everybody up top, all the suit and ties, everybody, all the bosses, all the big wigs, it's their fault. And I completely believe it, because honestly, I do. Okay. They're the ones fucking up. They're the ones making bad decisions. And when that happens, it trickles down, and then somebody's got to pay for it. And on the other side, they're trying to please the shareholders. So to do that and try to appease them, they're trying to make these little moves. And, if I'm a shareholder of Microsoft, which I am, which is crazy, I'm not impressed by this. Okay. I would have told them, hey, there's got to be another way you can save some money or cut some corners without, firing or laying anybody off. That's just my humble opinion, and I'm going to stick with that. But anyway, it's a lot of shit going on right now with this Microsoft thing, and it's all over the place. If you're into gaming and if you follow this field like I do, it's out here. And of course, people will be exposed, and I guess we'll see what happens from here. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a brief rundown on what was going on there. And I'm not a fan of what they're doing. I'm really not. So let's just move on to the next lecture at hand, and let's talk about some Monster Hunter Rise. Monster Hunter Rise is out now, guys, on all consoles. Okay, I had it on my Switch. It came out, I can't remember when it came out on the Switch, but it's an amazing game. I put about 90 hours into that game, and now it's re-released, and it's on current gen systems, last gen systems. So if you want to play Monster Hunter Rise, if you were a Monster Hunter fan, I highly recommend you guys play this game, okay? Because what Monster Hunter Rise is, to me personally, is Monster Hunter with all the fat trimmed off of it, okay? One thing I can easily discuss with you guys is traversal, okay? The traversal and Monster Hunter was a pain in the ass, and I know I am not the only one. It was just, you have to do everything on foot. You're running around, you're doing this, you're doing that. With Monster Hunter Rise, though, you actually have transportation, okay? And pretty dope transportation, if I do say so myself. So all I'm going to say is, that's not even the only thing, okay? The traversal in Monster Hunter Rise is no longer ground based. So what I mean by that is you can now travel by air to get to certain destinations with a zip, kind of like a zip line. The level design in this game is more, it's got layers now. Okay. So it's not just walking on one flat map. You have, different layers that you can actually traverse in this game. So all I'm going to say is, man, it looks breathtaking now, especially on current gen systems. I'm playing it on Xbox. It's free on Game Pass. I also want to let you guys know that as well. So if you have Game Pass, you need to boot this up. You need to download it. The file size is pretty small as well. It's like 27, 28 gigabytes. That's really lightweight compared to these other games out here. So you should definitely download this. I think you would really, really enjoy it. And I'm going to be playing with some friends. We've been having conversations about it. I actually just got the beginning out of the way and created my character, figured out what weapon I was going to use. And then I was in the dojo and practicing because I'm rusty as hell on these moves. So yes, I do have to go all the way back and start all over again. I got a female character this time. Last time I had a male character on my Switch. I just wanted to switch it up a little bit. I'm just in love with the sword and shield. I don't think I'm gonna go anywhere from that. If I do change weapons, it'll probably be some sort of gun. But other than that, I think I'm gonna stick there with the sword and shield. But yeah, man, looking forward to playing it again. I'm not too bummed about it because, like I said, you're getting 60 frames now. You're getting to kind of tweak and twerk your graphics and get the best out of the game now. So it's almost like a completely different game, just a souped up version of what it was on the Switch, man. You know what I mean? So if you love Monster Hunter, if you even just like it a little bit and you love going on hunts and hunting monsters, this game right here is for you, man. I'm telling you, I promise you, it's the best Monster Hunter game you're going to find out here. And Nintendo has found a formula that works. And this is that formula right here. So definitely check that out. It's out. It's available now to download. So if I were you guys and you wanted to play something different, definitely check out Monster Hunter Rise for sure. Now I want to talk about, there's a PlayStation 5 Slim. Did you guys know about that? There's a PlayStation 5 Slim on the way this year in September. And I'm kind of dumbfounded. I don't really understand, but I kind of understand why they're doing it. Let me kind of try to break it down for you. Anyway, PlayStation 5 has announced that they are going to release a PS5 Slim, okay, in September. I don't know the exact date. All we know is September. So just be looking for the end of the year, looking for that. The good news is the reason why they're doing this is because they're going to be doing a lot of, under the hood of it, they're going to be doing a lot of different things as far as parts are concerned, making parts easier to obtain, and thus also making them able to make the PlayStation 5 Slim cheaper. Maybe you might, $350 price tag, maybe $325, something like that. Could even go as low as $300 when it comes out. So it's pretty much the same as the PlayStation with no disk drive, except for it's going to be made a little bit differently. It may be a little slimmer. And like I said before, the parts may be a little different here and there. And it's going to be cheaper to manufacture. That way, it'll be cheaper for anybody who doesn't have a PlayStation 5 yet and is trying to find one, who doesn't care about physical games. They can pick that shit up. You know what I mean? And they're going to be doing that. So the PlayStation 5 is selling like hotcakes still. It's still going. It's still on fire. So, maybe it makes sense to them. Maybe they had parts, a lot of stuff left over, and they wanted to reconsolidate some things, and they figured out what they could do and what they needed to do, and, put these out here in the market. So if you guys are still waiting on that PlayStation 5, and you don't care about physical copies, you might want to hold on until September and, get you one then. You know what I mean? So it's nothing changed as far as the power. It's not one of those Xbox Series S type of things when comparing it to the S or the X. It's not one of those. You're going to get the exact same functionality. You're going to get the exact same power. All of those things, guys, you're going to get. So it's just going to be a cheaper price. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I would definitely look into it in September and see what happens when it comes out. But yeah, just thought I'd give you that information. And now I think I'm going to go to my anime watch list for you guys. I went ahead and I went for an oldie but goodie. And really, it started as just something to watch, to multitask, because what I end up doing is I'm always at the computer. It seems like I'm always at the computer, guys, especially now with all the things I'm trying to do this year with the brand and, all these things I got going on. But anyway, I've been on the computer a lot. And what I like to do, I have 3 screens in there. I really have 4. I have computer screen up. I have 2 computers. I have, I have a monitor. I game on it and I stream and stuff on it. And then I have the major TV that's in here. But anyway, I like to put on something that I've already seen when I'm working. Okay. That way I don't lose out or miss out on anything when I'm, trying to multitask. Okay. So I pulled up Naruto. I said, you know what? Let me pull up Naruto, man, and watch this while I kind of do my thing. Lo and behold, I got hooked in, and it just reminded me how fucking good Naruto is, man. How good that series is. That series is so awesome. I was telling a friend the other day about this and what I was doing. And yeah, man, you forget a lot of things sometimes. This series is pretty long. It's not One Piece long, okay? But it's still pretty long. Dragon Ball was pretty long to me as a series. But, 720 episodes altogether, that's pretty steep. I found myself combing over the stuff and kind of like not remembering certain things, like, man, I don't remember this part, or wow, maybe I just missed it the first time or whatever. But it just brings me back. And I just have to show my appreciation for Naruto as a series, man. I really do. I love this fucking series. And I'm happy to see that they're getting a lot of love in the collectors community now, because before they weren't really doing that. Only a certain couple of characters, of course, Naruto being one of the main ones. He's kind of like the Goku of the series, of course. But, I wanted to see more. I wanted to see more on some of the other characters, and they're still focused on Naruto in the main, Team 7 right now. But I'm hoping and I'm thinking that they're going to branch off, because these are going to do really well. I've already pre-ordered Naruto, the young Naruto, and Sasuke, the young Sasuke. I also have Kakashi, the 2.0, pre-ordered, waiting for those to hit. You know what I mean? And I'm giddy. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. The Naruto ones are really cheap. They're $35. These are like high quality figures as well. They usually typically go for anywhere between $50 to up to $90, depending on what it is. But the reason why they're doing the Naruto thing here is because, number one, he's Naruto. Number two, the shadow clone thing, you can buy you a couple of those and kind of, deck out your area. You know what I mean? So I'm loading up on this shit, guys. I'm nerding out on this stuff, geeking out for, because I don't know. I have to get everything set up for the man cave when I eventually return, because like I said, I'm moving and we're going to be staying somewhere for a little while before we find this house in the summer of 2024, which is going to be that magical time. And I'm just when I set up the man cave, oh my God, trust me, I'm gonna give you guys a tour when it's all said and done. I know that's a little bit down the line, but I cannot wait. I'm gonna give everybody a tour. I want everybody to check out my collection. And man, I have a whole bunch of shit here in the boxes. And I mean, I'm like, why pull them out? I want to take them out so bad, but I'm like, it doesn't make any sense because I'm gonna be packing them right back up. So in a couple months, we'll be out of here at this place, and so on and so forth. But anyway, with Naruto, I started watching it. I got hooked to my daughter, my 2-year-old daughter, man. She's locked onto it, man. She woke up in the morning. I was watching Naruto, doing working and stuff on the computer. She came in here and, usually she'll want her juice, and then she'll, want to go take her in the room and put on some Disney. That didn't happen this time. She sat there. I made her some juice. She drank her juice, but she stopped drinking it and she was staring at the screen. And she's watching everything on TV. And I'm like, wow, is she liking this? And I'm thinking, oh, okay, it'll be a couple minutes and then she'll probably just be ready to go. It never happened. She sat in my lap and watched for like an hour, damn near. And I said, okay, I got to sit you down. Okay. And so I was winding down what I was doing, and I ended up going to the room and taking her back in there. And I went ahead and put Naruto on, and guess what? She watched it. No hesitation. Usually when you put something on that she doesn't want to watch, she'll make a noise and she'll point at the TV and basically saying, look, I'm not trying to see that. I need you to change that. So that did not happen. So I mean, it's a magical series, man. It really is some magical type of series, and she likes it, man. I think she's gonna like anime. I think she's definitely gonna be versed in it really well because of me, And she's a daddy's girl, so she's gonna be around me. That's what I have playing on TV 75% of the time. Is some sort of anime. So yeah, she'll definitely be raised to be an anime girl, and her name says it all, everything. So yeah, man. I mean, I'm really excited to introduce her to other things and try out anime on her and kind of see how she takes it. But she definitely loves Naruto, and I think we'll continue that. And yeah, man, I don't know. I'm still watching One Piece. One Piece is so long. It's still going on. So it's like, I'm not rushing it. I'm just kind of like doing my thing, taking my time. And also, I'm going to start Boruto. I haven't started it yet, but I'm going to start it now because I've been keeping my eye on the manga and what's been going on in the anime as well was coming up. And there's some shit popping about to pop off. Okay. We're finally getting to that area in this saga where shit is about to get real. Okay. Because Naruto he's gone. He's been he's been banished into another dimension right now, so to speak. And there's no Hokage. We don't have a Hokage right now. And people are hinting at Kakashi maybe coming out and reprising that role. And there's people making innuendos of, when the shit gets really real, we could be looking at the fifth Ninja War right here. We could be looking at a whole bunch of crazy shit. We could also be looking at new deaths of some OG characters. Shikamaru maybe. Shikamaru never liked Kawaki in the series. And, there's some tension there. So I don't know what can happen. I mean, I hope they don't take out my boy Kakashi. But if they do, I mean, I honestly have to say it'll be bittersweet. Of course, I don't want my favorite character to die. But at the same time, I think it would be epic and he would become like some sort of martyr in the Naruto community, if that makes any sense. But that's here nor there. But yeah, it's getting juicy is what I'm saying. So I'm going to sit through it. And I'm going to sit through all that filler. Okay. I know it's a shit ton, and that's something I could definitely watch and multitask while I do some of my work. So I think that's what I'm going to start doing there as well. I don't know what I'm going to do about Naruto though. I mean, I can stop Naruto anytime because I've seen it, a couple times over. So it's not, like that. And I can still, depending on where I'm at and what I'm doing, I can switch in and switch out, so that's what I've been watching, guys. And that's what I plan on watching for the foreseeable future. So that's my anime watch list. And there you have it. Now, what I want to really get to is I want to talk a little bit about Forspoken. There's been some disturbing news out here. And if you follow the breadcrumbs, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense of what's happening here. And I didn't know this. Now, I played the demo. You guys, I remember, everybody who's been listening for a little while, I played the demo and I actually liked what I played on the demo. Okay. Now there were some things to, kind of look at. I looked at sideways a little bit, but I figured, hey, they already delayed the game. They should have all that under control. Shouldn't be no problem, right? And I'm still buying this day one. So I thought, but then all these videos are coming out. All these people on Twitter are talking about it. And it kind of stings a little bit because this is from Square Enix, and I'm a big Square Enix fanboy, whatever you want to call me. I think what it's looking like to me is that there are some technical shortcomings here, and they're not wanting to talk about it. Okay. There's some things that we're not going to be experiencing until we actually get the full game, I think. And they're going to come out when people start playing it. Okay. This game is also slated for PC. All right. A PC release. And we know that Square Enix has been synonymous in the past with a lot of their titles when they put them out on PC. And if you looked at the specs that are required to play this on the PC, some of this shit is crazy. I'm not a PC guy, but I do know that a lot of the stuff that they're requiring you to have has only been out for months. Okay. So you can tell that this shit is not optimized. Okay. It's far from being optimized the way it should be. It's going to take so much more time to optimize this and get this shit right. And that's time that apparently they don't have now because they've already pushed the game back once, and they don't want the shareholders to get antsy. And so they're putting this out. Okay. So to be honest with you, I'm seeing a game that's going to probably end up coming out. It's going to have some technical faults to it. It's going to be getting worked on, but it's going to take, 4 to 6 months before all the main kinks are out. The price will, it'll get cheaper then, and then it'll make sense to buy this game. When everything's cleared up, I'm thinking that. And the main reason why I'm even talking about this and bringing this up is because most game companies, especially somebody like Square Enix, okay, they're going to give you access to this game, especially if you're a reviewer, you're a big YouTuber, you're in the press, IGN, so on and so forth, all these characters, all these players in the game. And nobody, and I mean nobody, has a fucking review copy. Okay. They are not lifting an embargo on this game until the game actually releases. That is a very disturbing scenario right there. If you're not giving anyone access to this game for reviews, that means you're shook. That means you're scared. That means you knew or something that we have yet to discover. And if they got a hold of these games, you would probably lose a shit ton of fucking buyers, sales, because of what they would be witnessing and what they would be telling us. Okay. Some of these reviewers, man, I'm keeping it real. Some of these reviewers get their copies. I'm talking about up to 2 months before the game is even fucking released sometimes. Okay. So they have so much time. They have plenty of time, not necessarily all the time, but most reviewers are going to have a couple weeks to play a game. Okay. And review the game, but they're not giving us any time. They're not giving anyone any reviews, early copies, nothing. Okay. So that I'm scared. That's got me shook. Because I'm like, okay, what's about to happen here? So all we can do is wait. A lot of the people that I follow, they said that they're still going to buy the game and they're going to review the game, and it'll be just late reviews. It'll be coming out, and we'll see what's happening. But I think it's a technical thing. I honestly think it is. Whoever's working on the game, I think it's something. There's some indeficiencies here, and with all that magic and all those spells and stuff like that, man, they have to get that properly. They have to get that properly fixed. Okay. And I see this as being a glitch happy experience, if that's the case, because there are a shit ton of spells and all this stuff going on. I can see there's a lot of bugs, and I don't think that, they don't have the luxury of pushing the game back anymore. So they're going to do what most companies do, put the game out prematurely and turn us into beta testers and until they are able to fix the shit that needs to be fixed. Okay. This is a practice in the gaming community now that has been going on for quite some time. And, I come from a genre, or I come from an age where I've seen it all. I've been blessed enough to start from where the Nintendo has been all the way now to where we're at now, to the Switch and to all these other consoles. So I remember the days of getting a game, paying that $54.99, opening that package and getting what you pay for. Okay. The games were great. There were no patches and all of that. So you got what you got. Games were also simpler at the time, but still, I remember all that. And I remember watching how these practices started to insert themselves. And it's it's been very, very awkward or strange. Okay. In a lot of senses. I am thankful and blessed for the technology we do have. Don't get it twisted. It's just that, when you're a consumer and they want you to pay $70 now for some of these titles, the ends don't justify the means is what I'm saying. So I'm also thankful that, we have all this press and we're able to, look into things before we spend that money, and we're able to, draw back and save ourselves from, an early mistake. Because like I said, me not buying the game now, or you guys not buying the game now, or even if the game is kind of broken now, doesn't necessarily mean that the game can't recover. But like I said, when you have time frames and stipulations, these games have to get put out through rain, sleet, or snow. It doesn't matter. The big heads, the big wigs don't care now of what's wrong and how much more time you need. Okay. They need that shit to be put out on that date, period. And they'll say work on the game later after it's out. Okay. Because these physical years, okay, these quarterly, these numbers, all these things come into play when you're talking about these companies when they make these games, especially somebody as prestigious as a Square Enix, as a company, as a gaming company. So it's going to be crazy, man. I'm going to be anxious. It comes out literally in a couple of days. So I think Tuesday is Tuesday. So it's going to be interesting to see what people are saying about it. And there's a reason why they didn't give anybody any fucking copies of this to review. There's a reason. Okay. Because if Square Enix wanted you to know about this, trust me, they would have let and granted access. Okay. I promise you. So now everybody's wondering, well, what's the problems? What are the issues? And we're going to find out. And I'm telling you right now, if you're a PC player, if you're a PC gamer, you don't need to touch this shit at all. Okay. You don't need to touch this at all. There's a lot of titles that have been notorious for this, for whatever reason. And the PC just can't deal with it for whatever reason. And people they have horrible experiences with some of these titles when they try to play them on PC. I don't understand why. It's just some technical shit, and hopefully they can remedy this one day. I'm not going to hold my breath right now. But anyway, it's sad. I kind of feel sad even talking about this and not going to be able to buy it. And that's cool. I don't need to spend any more money. I've been spending too much money as it is. Anyway, I still have a backlog, the size of Texas. So there's a lot there on my plate. And then there's also this Retroid Pocket 3 Plus that I have. And I guess I'm going to segue into that because, man, this thing is amazing. Okay. I'm still toying with it, tinkering with it, the settings and all that. I was struggling for a minute to try to get it to play PlayStation 2, but I had to find the BIOS files and I thought I had to download it, but it was already in there. It's all of that. So you got to move a lot of files around certain time or just create a lot of different paths. And once you find your paths to some of these games, it becomes easier. And all of that. Like I said, it only gets a little crucial when you're dealing with like your PlayStation 2s, your Nintendo Wii's and stuff like that. But GameCube, is awesome. I'm playing GameCube games. I'm playing PlayStation 2 games on this. The only one I haven't yet to got working yet is the Wii, because I'm trying to find my BIOS file within the actual device. And I'm trying to figure out if I have to do that. So I spend the first couple nights with this device, first of all, just downloading games. Okay. Because this thing comes fully loaded. It comes with a screen protector, which I thought I had to buy, which is cool. That's a game changer. Put that on there. Then it also comes with a micro SD card, which is a 256 gigabyte card, right? Fully loaded. Like literally, like if you put the card in there, it's literally only maybe a gig or two left of room on that card. All the rest of that shit is filled with games. I'm talking about thousands of games. Okay. MAME, which is an arcade cabinet. If you guys don't know what that is, think of like just your local arcades. You know what I mean? When you were a kid, or just period. Now you can go into some of these local arcades and play these games. And most of these games run off of MAME and these cartridge-based things. But anyway, there's thousands of them, okay? Because the game file sizes aren't very big. They're pretty small. They're pretty historic compared to now what we're playing at home and stuff like that. But there's a lot of classics on that MAME, like NBA Jam. I remember you playing. There's also the wrestling games, the WWF Superstars games. There's so many others, like Shinobi. The list can go on. Bad Dudes, all these beat 'em ups. You know what I'm saying? They had Golden Axe and so on and so forth. And Neo Geo had their machine machines as well. So all these games I'm talking about, guys, are on this fucking device. Okay, the Neo Geo, the Neo Geo Pocket, the fucking Nintendo, the regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo, GameCube. Okay, the list goes on. The Nintendo Wii, Game Boy Advance, which is another one of my favorites. There's a lot of shit. Sega Genesis. Okay. There's a lot of systems on this game. And then some I don't even fucking know. Like I'm talking about way throwbacks like ColecoVision and fucking Atari and all this other shit. It's on here. Okay. Dreamcast. You can't forget Sega Saturn. You can't forget Nintendo 64, which is one of my favorite consoles. I'm playing that literally right now. Like I was just playing it. I was, multitasking. I was working on some videos and stuff. And as my videos are rendering, which is the thing I hate the fucking most about editing videos, but it's a necessary evil. And if you make videos, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, the cool thing is that's why you multitask. That's why you have something on TV or you have some sort of game on in the background or whatever. And this thing is, man, I love this thing. I love this Retroid Pocket, man. I take it everywhere with me now. It's like I take it to the fucking bathroom. Okay. But anyway, I'm so excited because the other day like I said, I love Nintendo 64 because of the wrestling games that they had on there. Okay. One in particular, the AKI engine. Okay. Some of you guys may be familiar with this. Some of you may not, but it back in the 2000s or in the early or late 90s, you had your games like, you had, I think NWO, WCW World Tour. You had your WCW NWO Revenge. You had your WrestleMania 2000. You had your WrestleMania No Mercy, WWF No Mercy, those games. Okay. Pixelated characters running around. The engine is just so awesome. I still love the engine to this day. It's just awesome engine. And I remember watching it the first time going into a Funko Land, which used to be before GameStop became GameStop. It was called Funko Land, and going in there and watching that game being played, watching Revenge, WCW, NWO Revenge. And I think I saw somebody get pile drived or something, man. And after he got pile drived, he was laying on the ground, but he was having a seizure. Like his head was jumping up and down. He split his head open. You know what I mean? Blood was out. I was like, what the fuck is this? I said, man, I gotta have this shit. Okay. And ever since then, I've been obsessed with that engine, obsessed with that game and all of that. So to be able to play this handheld and everywhere and be able to take it wherever I want and have upscale graphics on it as well is a beautiful thing. And then I haven't even done this shit. I'm still exploring. Okay. I'm still getting all the kinks out of it and everything like that. And I still haven't, try to link it to my, a monitor or whatever, because I don't have that cord. I got to find a cord, an HDMI, because it's a smaller HDMI input that comes out of it. So I need to find one of those so I can hook it up to a monitor and I can play it off the monitor just for shits and giggles. You know what I mean? But as a handheld, I love it. And that's probably what I'll be playing this, the majority of the time. Okay. And like I said, it's beautiful, man. One of my all-time favorite games on period at all, like over everything, was WrestleMania 2000. Now, I got a chance to play some years back. I got a chance to try out Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. And then I said, oh shit, this is the contender. Okay. Now what made No Mercy so cool is the fact that they had so many different options. And if you compare No Mercy to WCW NWO Revenge, the engine is the same, but it's an accelerated engine. Okay. It's a souped up version of that engine. And what I mean by that is there's more animations. Okay. There's more things you can do in that game. And there's gimmick matches and stuff like ladder matches and shit like that. So that's what made No Mercy awesome. But the roster, the roster was so-so to me. The best roster in all these games was WCW NWO Revenge. That they had the best roster, man. That's when a lot of the guys were leaving WWF and they were going to WCW. So you had, Mr. Perfect over there. You had Macho Man Randy Savage over there. You had just an awesome lineup of characters there. So I'm geeking out right now, but please just bear with me. But anyway, the game is, if you haven't played it, if you guys are not even wrestling fans. You don't even have to be a wrestling fan because, I don't watch wrestling like that anymore, but I still enjoy the games. And to me, it's just another fighting game. It's just a different fighting game. And that's how I look at these games. It's one of my favorite fighting games of all time. And I put it in that genre because technically it is, but what I'm saying is Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 is now my favorite. It is my favorite, AKI video game of all time. So now it's Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 and then it's No Mercy. And the reason why I love Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 is because it's the same game technically. Okay. But it's based out of Japan. So it's got basically just a Japanese roster. A lot of the moves are different. Definitely. Vader is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Back in the day, he used to watch as a kid. He's in here. He wrestled a shit ton. He's a god over there in Japan. And there's some other wrestlers as well, like Terry Funk and Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and so on and so forth. Mike Awesome. All these guys wrestled there in Japan, and they're in this game as well. But what's so cool about Virtual Pro Wrestling to me is they had a couple other things they added in Virtual Pro Wrestling that they have that solidifies them to me as just barely, but they are number one in my book. And that is the creation suite that they have there. A lot of the moves are the same, but they have that, how do you call it? Strong style in Japan. Okay. It's a different kind of style. It's really a harsh and solid kind of fighting style. It's a lot. You can get fucked up real bad is what I'm saying over there in Japan if you're not used to that style. But anyway, there's a lot of different moves and there's different categories. So in Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, you also have prize fighting. Okay, basically is what you have. The Octagon, you can actually literally make yourself a UFC fighter. Okay, they have UFC moves in this game. You can have UFC matches in this game, or you can mix and match. So you can create a character, which I'm working on right now, who has mixed martial art abilities and wrestling abilities. So he's like a fucking hybrid wrestler. Okay, and then also one thing that I wish that No Mercy had was fucking masks. Okay, custom masks that you can create yourself. You can do that in Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. Also, Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 has created titles. I haven't got there yet, but I'm working on it. And the reason why it wasn't my number one game back in the day and only just recently is because I recently found a patched version of this game. And what I mean by that is this game is Japanese. Okay. So if you try to play it, it's going to be all in Japanese. And that was the only thing that was hindering me from playing this. I didn't know what the fuck I was reading. I was playing the game, loving it, but I couldn't, the options, I was like, how do I do this? What do I do? How do I create a character? I can't do that because it's all in Japanese. But now, thanks to the beautiful people out there, I don't know who they are, but they were working on these patches. They were obsessed about this game, just like me. They put out these patches, a patched version of this game. I downloaded it. And now I'm playing the version with English text. And like I said before, guys, it's fucking amazing. And the cool thing about this device as well is there's a lot of games that came out in the Japanese market that you're going to miss out on if you don't fucking play these. The games are awesome. I'm telling you guys right now. And most of us will never get a chance to experience them. But with today's technology and how things work, we have that opportunity because there's people out there who actually go back into these games in the files and they actually insert the English or the Spanish or whatever you are. They put the fucking right patches in there and now you can experience these games as well. So there's a handful of games, maybe a dozen or two that I have on this device now that are Japanese only games that would have never been able to come out in the States. But thanks to the patches, I can play them now. And this is one of those games. So now I can see I can read everything. I know what I'm doing now. And now I'm so excited. It's going to take me probably another hour to finish this character, but I'm going to create a stable of them and I'm just going to have them on the game. And I can't wait, man, to put this guy out here. He's a technical guy. He looks pretty dope too. He's got this Japanese gi on. He looks awesome from head to toe. And then he's got a mask, like this cat mask, wolf mask, whatever you want to call it. And he's really technical, man. He does a lot of kicks and he does a lot of submission holds. He's going to be submission master. So I don't think anyone's safe from this guy. I don't even have a name for him yet. But anyway, that's what I've been playing recently. Also, I had a chance to boot up, SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, okay, which is also another dope arcade-esque game. I mean, it's dope, man, and it runs excellently on this device. You know, it's like I said, guys, this is something that I highly recommend. It's only $150. If you don't mind waiting, you know, those couple of weeks, I'd get it, man. I'd buy it. I was impatient, so I went ahead and spent another $100 because I wanted it here ASAP. And my brother, which is crazy because he came in here and he's visiting and he saw me playing it and he was like, yo, does this game have, you know, the old NBA jams on here and, you know, those old wrestling games we used to play? And I said, yeah, man, they're on here right now. And I showed him. He was like, oh, where did you get that? Let's go. Pull it up. Go ahead and order another one from the same guy. And so I did, and his came today as it's a Friday, so he's crunk. I haven't had a chance to mess with it yet because our schedules are kind of different, but of course I'm going to have to set it up for him, but it's all good. Yeah, man, like I said, he's not a gamer. He's not even a gamer like that, but for him to have that nostalgia and be able to play some of that stuff, man, whenever, you know, he feels the need to, that is why he went ahead and made that purchase. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful thing. Here's a story, though, behind what happened with this device, man. I almost lost my shit. OK, now, keep in mind, I was under the weather. I was not feeling well. And I got a confirmation email saying that your device is here. It arrived. Right. So my daughter, and she's asleep. I put her to sleep and I said, OK, when she goes to sleep, I'll go check the mail real quick. So I went out and checked the fucking mail. Keep in mind, I'm not feeling well. I'm under the weather. I can't breathe out my nose. I'm just sore throat, all these things. I go out here. I, you know, open the mail. And usually what happens when you order something like this on eBay and they have a package for you, what they end up doing is they put your mail, your regular paper mail in your mailbox, but then they leave like a key in there. And what that key is, you know, you take the key and your other device is in usually a bigger box or whatever. They put it in one of those big boxes. And you take that key and you open it up and that's how you get your package, right? So that's usually how it went down with eBay, with me and eBay when I ordered something there. Okay. But I didn't take into the account that, you know, this was, you know, it was a pretty hefty price after taxes with damn near $300 and all that stuff. But, you know, I wasn't thinking about that at the time. But anyway, I go open it, the mail, and there's no key in there. And I'm like, where's my package? The fuck? And it said it was delivered. It's telling me it's delivered. So I'm scrambling. I'm upset, man. I'm like, okay, I'm calling. I send a message to the guy on eBay first. And then he tells me, okay, just wait a couple of days. Maybe they're, you know, messed up and they'll bring it back. Then I called the post office. Okay. I got on there with them. I was on hold for like an hour and 15 minutes. And I kept it on hold on speaker because I was going to talk to somebody, man. God damn it. And then I was going to go up there, all this stuff. But anyway, long story short, I'm upset. I'm mad as hell. So my girlfriend calls me from work and she has bad signal at her job, you know. So I text her, you know, hey, you know, my package didn't come, but she didn't get my message because of the fucking signal at her job. So she gets off work and we're talking and I'm telling her, man, my day was shitty and my shit didn't come. And she said, what do you mean? Your package is here. I said, what do you mean? No, it's not. She was like, yes, it's in the other containers across from the mailbox. It's where basically it was in the place that Amazon puts their stuff. Okay. And I said, well, why the fuck didn't I get that confirmation? No code or anything. She said, because for whatever reason, some strange reason, they're linking the shit to my name over here or whatever. I'm like, what? So I got pissed. I did all that shit for no fucking reason. And I had my shit in the box. So that made me feel so much better, man. Once I finally got a chance to go and she picked it up and she came home with it, I was still hurting, still under the weather, but I still, I'm not hurt enough to fuck with this. Okay. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna lay here in bed. And she was like, yeah, right. You'll lay here for a minute and then you're going to get up. And I tried to lay down and I just couldn't stop thinking about it. So I got up and I had to see what was on here. I had to, I had my games pre-downloaded. I downloaded all the games that I wanted on this thing. And then I didn't know it came with these games preloaded. So a lot of these games they were already here. I was cherry picking. So I had to go in there in the files, comb through all these games, take a lot of these games off that I didn't want to play or I didn't want, That way I would have room on that card so I could put my other games on here. And of course, when you get to PlayStation 2, the Nintendo Wii, and the GameCube games, those games are pretty big. Even some of them on the Dreamcast, have a little weight to them. So I had to, comb through all those for a couple of days. So I basically did all that. As sick as I was and under weather like I was just hypnotized, and I was trying to get this stuff right, man. And then after I did all that, I still have to optimize all of the stuff. So basically there's certain settings in each emulator that you use, and you can tweak and twerk how you want things to do. So if you got a game that's running kind of slow, you can go in there, you can tweak this, tweak that, and then you can have it running at optimized strength, if that makes any sense. So I'm still doing that with some of these. And really, you don't have to worry about that when you're dealing with, like I said, the PlayStation 2, the Nintendo Wii, and the GameCube, mainly. Like the Dreamcast runs fine, buttery smooth. I don't have to fuck with any settings. Same thing with the Sega Saturn. And yeah, man, I'm good. Matter of fact, I have to download a couple Sega Saturn games, actually, a couple fighting games. But yeah, other than that, man, everything is love. Like I said, I got the, controller layout how I want it on my 64 emulator. Everything's good. I fucking love this machine. I'm telling you guys, this thing right here is, for the money, it is well worth it. Okay. This should be $300, being able to allow somebody to play all these things. There's people are even playing fucking Switch games on this too. Okay. So there's a lot to be discovered here. There's a lot to love. I haven't even touched the Sega games, the Super Nintendo games. There's some games that I want to go back to, like Chrono Trigger. It's a lot of them on here. I think Paper Mario is another one. There's a lot of games, man, that I remember. Super Metroid, stuff like that. Earthworm Jim, Toe Jam and Earl. I'm talking about throwbacks, guys. Games that I came up playing and stuff like that. The Super Mario Brothers franchise, of course, 1, 2, and 3. All of those. And the list goes on and on. They're all at my beck and call whenever I fucking need to. And then the main arcade cabinets, the Neo Geo cabinets. Neo Geo they're known for their fighting games. I'm talking about all the fighting games that they have, the Final Fights, the fucking, the King of Fighters series, and everything in between. It's all here, and it's so beautiful. I cannot tell you guys how happy I am and joyous to have this thing, man. My favorite handheld now. Like, this is it right here, man, because I'm able to play all of my systems. I was playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2 the other day on this thing, man. Oh my God, just running butter smooth. Okay. Got my ass whooped, but it ran butter smooth. But anyway, man, that's going to do it for the show. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I want to thank everybody for listening to the podcast, guys. If you're new to the show, thank you for coming out. I hope to see you again. We do this every Monday, same bad time, same bad channel. And like I said before, guys, if you need or have any questions about this system, let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer anything that I can help you guys with. There's still things, like I said before, that I'm still doing and messing around with, but it'll probably be another week or so before I got everything optimized the way I would like it to. And that's fine. I mean, I'm not trying to rush it, but I was trying to rush it. But now I'm like, okay, let me calm down, cool down. I don't need to rush this shit. Okay. And there's, like I said, there's so many other things I got to be playing now. I got to play this Monster Hunter Rise because I have that pressure on me. I'm going to play it myself anyway, but I got some friends like, yo, we need to get on this. So I'm definitely going to make that a reality. And yeah, man, that's it. That's it. And I'll see you guys next week, man. Don't forget, if you guys want to do a little more, you can check out my DragonBallDrip.com website and show your love and support there. Buy some merch, new merch on the way. Like in the next 6 months, because I have to find some artists. I have some artists that I've been kind of like working with, and we're trying to coordinate. But I'm gonna hook up some new designs for us on the site. I'm gonna tell you another thing that's really good. Definitely support me on TikTok. TikTok is doing very well. The Dragon Ball Drip TikTok is doing extremely well right now, guys. You should definitely go over there and check it out. I mean, I had a video on there that went viral. My first baby viral video. I guess that makes sense. It's like almost at 100,000. 100,000, man. And I'm at like almost 11,000 likes, and this TikTok has only been up a couple weeks. So I'm very pleased and excited that I hit the ground running with that. You know what I mean? So definitely support that. And also, don't forget the Random Gameplay Pimpin' TikTok. That's moving along too. It's moving along more slowly, of course, but I'm getting about one follower a day, or averaging about one follower a day over there. So that's cool. That's been up for a couple weeks as well. So yeah, man, just trying to grow the brand and, doing my thing. So definitely support and show your love over there for your boy. Okay. Also, the YouTube channel. Don't forget Random Gameplay Pimpin', the YouTube channel as well. So definitely check all that out. But yeah, man, I want to thank everybody for the last time, and I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to edit this video, and I'm going to get back on some Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. Okay. I love you guys dearly. Thank you for listening. This is your boy Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. See you next time.